Welcome to this first video on this YouTube channel called Christoffer's Photos. My name is Christoffer, and as the name of this channel might suggest, I'm quite interested in photography and photos and also old cameras. So that's what this channel will be about: old cameras, photography and photos. As you might hear in the background on this video, there are seagulls that's screaming. Well, I wouldn't call it singing, more screaming. But first, before we talk about photos and so on, a little bit about me. My name is, as I said before, Christoffer, and I'm 32 years old, and I live in Gothenburg, which is Sweden's second biggest city after our capital, that is Stockholm. And I live in Frölunda, in the Frölunda part of the city, which is this southwestern part of the city. To be more precise, I live in Järnbrott, the Järnbrott part of Frölunda. And we're at the moment filming from my apartment. So this is how it looks outside my window. I think this is a quite nice view. Some houses and some trees and so on, and we have more trees here. I live in a one-room apartment with a separate kitchen. So we're filming from my windows in the room, the only room I have. And I like to live here. I've been living here for almost 2 years. 20th of June 2021 I moved here. I grew up outside Gothenburg in a little tiny place, about 30 minutes or 20 minutes by bus from Gothenburg, and with my parents and my brother. And my interest, except photography, is sports and art in general, theater, music, and so on. I've been a choir singer. I've been singing the bass harmony in two different choirs, which I will hopefully start singing in a choir soon again. And and otherwise I'm a youth coach in handball, and like to hang out with friends and working out, mostly at the gym. Well, and now a bit about my photography interest and how it started. It started when I was about 16. I got the camera of my parents. I was going on a trip, my first trip alone, out without my parents and my brother. It was my first trip abroad. It was to England, to Bournemouth, to study English for 3 weeks, and my parents it was an old Nikon Coolpix. I think I have it somewhere, or maybe it's at my parents' house, and I really like taking photos from the moment I got the camera, and and from there, and the rest is history, as it's called. And I used that camera for a couple of years. Then 2012 came around, and I bought a Nikon D3200, which I actually didn't use for 5 years. And so after that I photographed with my mobile phone, which varied from iPhones to different Samsungs. And in 2017 I started a course which went along for 5 weeks, where I learned how to use the camera and the different settings, and And from that moment I haven't looked back, and my life was changed, so to speak, and photo became one of my biggest hobby, if not the biggest, together with sports. And yeah, and there you have a bit of the story. And when I spoke about old cameras earlier, that interest in old cameras started about a month and a half ago, when I found a camera at a thrift store. This particular one, this Kodak 620 model Brownie E. Yeah, I will talk about that one in a separate video. I actually have two of these, so I will talk about that one in a separate video. And then I have a Zeiss Icon, and this is a Zeiss Icon Contina, and I will talk about that one in a separate video. And here we have a Voigtlander, and yeah, all the old cameras I own I will talk about in separate videos. I have more old cameras that I will talk about, and the thing I will talk about is when they were made, a better backstory and history, and so on. And I will update this channel with a, so to say, new camera every second week. Well, at least I will try to update every second week. And yeah, and if you want to suggest any other cameras, then those that will be presented on this channel, feel free to comment under the videos. And yeah, this YouTube account also comes from a Instagram account that I run, which is also, of course, called christoffersphotos. And yeah, and you can find it on Instagram, and it's spelled Christoffersphotos, christoffersphotos, in one word. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you, and welcome to this channel.